are heading up to the top of Haleakala crater right now. 10,000 feet. We're on Maui, the island of Maui. Just went from surfing amazing waves this morning down at sea level to 10,000 feet, and the temperature has dropped big time. So what's really cool about coming up here, especially from sea level, is you get to see all the different climate changes and geography and landscape changes along the way. And obviously down at sea level we have the Pacific Ocean. We're surfing warm waters. It's 75-80 degrees, palm trees, sugar cane, and then as you climb up the elevation you end up coming up into more hardwoods or coniferous, so pine forest, and now we're in lava and really rocky landscape. There's not a lot of vegetation up here. We're literally on the top of a volcano right now. So as you can see, roll down the window here and you can see the landscape. That's Aaron in front of me, and God, we're above the cloud line. The cloud line seemed to be maybe about 5,000 feet. I really want to come back up here and spend some more time flying my drone out of the park over those clouds, because it's just an amazing view to see the different colors and the shadows and the cloud formations, especially this time of day when the sun's just hitting them all, you know, just there's so much contrast. It's absolutely breathtaking up here, really. Partly due to the lack of oxygen, for sure. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, I can see the observatory and we're almost there. Super excited. Don't drive off the road. Go shoot the sunset. Pretty amazing. Aaron is setting up his telescope, and we're gonna get some cool footage. I probably look pretty ridiculous right now, but it is cold up here. Look at this. Woo. Oh my gosh. What a view. Pretty amazing right now. Watching the sunset on the top of Haleakala crater at 10,000 feet. Look at this view. All right, pretty amazing. All right, wow, that is quite the lens.
This is my small one.
That's your small one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah, so
That is amazing. So why do you have it pointed that way?
So you got to get polar north. So the mount itself has to point toward the north when you set up, so that when you're tracking everything, once you're polar north, it doesn't matter where the scope points after that, as long as this is pointed north, directly north.
Okay.
If you don't, and you're even slightly off, when you track, you're not tracking truly with the stars, the rotation.
Oh.
You'll be off, and your tracking will be off.
Okay.
So I'll set up a little camera on here, and that'll help me get polar north and a bunch of other things that will happen here in a bit.
So this has automatic tracking that rolls with.
Yeah, it's called a go-to mount.
Okay.
So you set up polar north, get a polar line, And then I've got a hand control here, and I can push go to whatever I want it to do. But
Wow.
I use tablets for that. I don't use the hand control. So
Okay.
I use 2 tablets to do it.
Very cool.
It's worked out better for me. Nothing, so it's hard to
It's no fun to have an earache.
know.
So how did you get into this anyway?
I started doing, well, I was always interested in like the galaxy, Milky Way galaxy, and I always wanted to take really good pictures of it. So last year I bought a really nice camera, Canon RP, and started doing galaxies. And then of course as the season goes on, the galaxies move, right? So I mean that galaxy doesn't move, but we move and everything goes this way, and pretty soon you're not getting any galaxy anymore. So I started thinking, well, what else is there? You know, what else could I take pictures of? So I did a little research, found this thing called astrophotography, and I'm like, huh. So I got a little setup, little tiny thing. I told myself, you know,
I think I remember that.
$2,500. You know, it was basically this size.
Yeah.
A tiny little mount, you know.
Yeah.
And I did some really, you know, I did some pretty cool pictures. I thought of Orion. I was pretty stoked. I was like, oh man, what if I did, you know, went deeper?
Right.
And then I just fell in the rabbit hole.
We're still hours away from.
No, it's 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be dark enough. I'll start getting polar alignment here in a little, not in a little bit, but I'll have dinner first.
Yep.
I'll have everything cooling down. So the first step is to get it set up. Everything's got to cool. This is too warm, so it's got to come down to temperature.
Really?
Yeah, you feel it. It feels
From being in the car?
Yeah. Yeah, so if you don't, then everything contracts and expands. And the reason why this is carbon fiber and they make them that way is because it has less contraction and expansion.
Okay.
And then aluminum or steel does.
Yep.
So you get less, what do you call it? Your focus, it tends to stabilize. You don't have to focus so often.
Really?
Yeah. So through the night, I'll focus every hour. I'll refocus.
Huh.
Because this is changing, right? You're going this way. Well, over here, you got a lot of atmosphere you're going through.
Yeah.
Or as you get towards the zenith, you have less.
Yeah.
So your focus changes. You got to refocus a bit.
Okay.
So this filter wheel combined with this thing focuses for me. I just set the program and it auto focuses everything. I just let it kind of do its thing.
Okay.
If it all runs correctly. Find my star. Make sure this is on the star. So I use
So the
this.
laser shoots how far?
It just shoots a light at about 1,000 feet, and so it gives me an idea of, okay, if the laser's on the star, then this should be on the star.
Okay.
You know, so I try to match this with the star. So this will get me close, and then I focus with this. I get on the star, and I'll do this alignment thing and all kinds of whatnot.
Cool.
And yeah.
And
It's a process.
Daisy, what do you think about all this? Huh?
Wolf bark wolf.
You're just waiting for dinner, aren't you?
She had that. She's waiting to go back in the car.
Oh. And
You want to go back in the car? Go ahead. Go on. Up, go. Go ahead. Go. Up. You can do it. Go on. You got it. There you go. Smart dog.
Stuff. Okay.
All right. So this camera is called a cooled camera, dedicated astrophotography camera.
Yeah.
And it's got a cooler on the back. It's a 2-stage tech cooler. So it will bring the ambient temperature down up to 40 degrees Celsius below ambient. So if it's 45 degrees out, it'll drop it 40 degrees Celsius below that and make it super, super cold. The colder the temperature, the colder the sensor, the less noise you have in your data. So you want to have it cold. If the colder it is out here, the better off you are. If
Okay.
it was 32 degrees out here, it'd be perfect. Because this would get really cold, it would get colder, and then my data would be
Less noise, like less distortion.
Yeah, so you get thermal
noise
noise.
in your
thermal
images.
noise, yep, exactly. And that thermal noise from the heat builds up and it creates noise in the picture. You've
Yep.
got to try to get rid of that when you process the pictures.
Yep.
So between the noise you get from just everything out there, light noise and everything else you're getting thermal noise.
Yeah.
You know, so the cooler this can get, and that's why they made these
Wow.
cameras. So it's all controlled by this little tablet. So everything's on here. And eventually you'll be able to see that, but I can control everything. This is the focuser, this is the filter wheel, the camera, the guide scope. So this one guides that.
Yep.
This will send impulses to this mount and tell it where to go.
And is this your battery pack down
It's
here?
the battery, as I run everything off that. Yep.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna balance this sucker. I think that's everything I need out of here. Here,
Okay.
and that's Capella. Yeah, so if I rotate it over here, that's gonna be Aldebaran.
So it's the one that's lit up on
Yeah.
your screen?
It's this one. That's Aldebaran, yeah.
Okay. Are you constantly checking on this
Yeah,
throughout
so
the night, or do you take a little nap? Or
I used to come out here all the time and be like, you know, because you're just constantly playing with the stuff. Now with my filter wheel, and you know, it's a go-to. this changed everything really, because now all I have to do is set it to focus every hour and let it do it. It changes the filters automatically. There's 5 filters in the wheel.
Okay.
It changes them automatically. I let it focus every hour. Every filter it changes, it focuses again. And now I can just go in, take a nap for 3 hours, come back out for the meridian flip, which meridians are right above us. It's an imaginary line. And when it gets on one side of the meridian, when the star passes or whatever you're trying to get on the other side of the meridian, this can only track to about 20 degrees or 10 degrees past the meridian, not very much. So you need to flip, everything will flip over. So it's pointing this way, it'll go and do this. And now it can track again. But